class, how are you today? Welcome to math. And today in math, I have a little surprise for you. So the strategy that I'm going to teach you today, I feel is a little bit difficult and can be a little bit confusing. So because of that, I decided to teach it to you with a bird on my head. Because why not? So if we were in class, I would do something to make this this lesson more fun for you, because it can get really confusing and it can get really frustrating. But since we're not in class and I can't give you like Fruit Loops or candy or Skittles or anything, I'm giving you a bird on Miss Darcy's head. What do you think about that? That's all I've got. And really, this bird, this is Lila's bird, Tweety. And he has been squawking all morning, and when he won't stop squawking, it's because he just wants to be with somebody, and Lila's not here. So it's me, because Mr. Morgan does not like this bird at all. So I kind of had to bring him on my head anyway to make him stop squawking for my video for you guys. So here we go. I'm kind of shooting two birds with one stone, as they say. All right, are we ready? So, all right, listen to this strategy. So we learned the other day the strategy of taking a number like 62 plus 4 and just looking at the ones place. So if we know that 2 plus 4 is 6, then 62 plus 4 must be 66, right? We learned that strategy. Today, we're going to take it a little bit further to where that ones place goes beyond a number 9. So it goes beyond one digit into two digits. And that's why it gets a little bit more complicated, because it's not so much 2 plus 4 equals 6. 62 plus 4 equals 66. That's a lot more simpler. So let me erase this and show you this one. Let's look at 78. That's a nice number. That was the year I was born, 1978. Woo woo! Plus, let's add the number 2. So if we have 78 plus 2, and we decide that we're going to add the ones place, we know that 8 and 2 is, well, that's one of our ways to make 10, right? Because 10 plus 0, 9 plus 1. Took me a minute to think of our song. Let's sing it together. 10 plus 0, 9 plus 1, 8 plus 2. Isn't that fun? 7 plus 3, 6 plus 4, 5 and 5 make 10. So we know one of our ways to make 10 is 8 and 2. So that would be 10. So if 8 plus 2 is 10, 78 plus 2 can't be 7010. That's not a number. But what is a number if we have one more 10? Because the number here, 70, and if we put this into a number bond, we would have 70 plus 8 equals 78. So we have 70, which is how many tens? 7 tens. And here we have 8 and 2, which makes one more 10. So if we have one more 10, what number are we going to have? Let's add this one 10 to our 10 spot, which gives us 7, 8. So we would have 8 tens and then 0 ones, right? Because we just have 1 10, 0 1. So 78 plus 2 would be 80. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Miss Darcy, why don't I just get out my number chart like you showed me last week? And why don't I just go to my 78 and I count 2 more? 1, 2. I'd be on the 80. That's a lot easier than all that stuff you just showed me. Or, Miss Darcy, why don't I just count on 78, 79, 80. There's my 2 more. It's 80. Yeah, you can do it that way. But remember, this is a strategy that I'm teaching you that'll make it easier in the future to get those bigger numbers that you'll be learning how to add and subtract in 2nd grade. So that's why we're doing it this way. It's just a strategy to start helping you do mental math or math in your head without having to use fingers, 78, 79, 80, or without having to use number charts. It's just a strategy. Now, when you're doing your homework today, your math workbook, if you decide not to use this strategy, it's okay. I just want to introduce it to you. If you're comfortable using it, great. If you're not, do it with the other strategies that you've learned, like your number chart or your counting on, or however else you'd like to add these numbers. Maybe you just know that 78 plus 2 is 80. Maybe you already just know that, and that's awesome. So you can do it that way too. This is just another strategy for doing math. So the more strategies we have kind of in our, if we call it a tool, the more tools we have in our toolbox, the better we'll be at math as math gets a little bit more difficult and more, difficult's not the right word, I would say more advanced as we grow older, because the older we get, the more advanced math we'll be able to do. And if we learn strategies like this, it might make it a little bit easier for us in the future. If we don't learn strategies like this, it's okay too. I don't want you to be like, I'm never gonna be good at math if I don't know this strategy. That's not true at all. It's just, I just want to introduce it to you so that it can help you in the future. If you don't get it, you'll get it sometime. You'll get it in the future. All right? Sound good? How's this bird doing on my head? He's being pretty good, isn't he? Are you doing okay, Tweety Bird? Yeah? Did you know that Tweety Bird whistles Darth Vader's theme from Star Wars? Let's see if we can get him to do it. Of course, he's not going to do it now. He only likes to do it when I'm trying to sleep. All right, are we ready to learn this strategy some more? All right, it's going to get a little bit more complicated than just the 78 plus 2. Let's take it to 78 plus 5. Now, when you're watching this strategy, don't stress out about it. Just think, you know what? I'm just going to watch Miss Darcy do this strategy with a bird on her head. And if I get it, great. Let me try to figure out what she's doing over there. And that's it. You don't have to stress. If you don't get it, that's okay. Just don't worry about it, okay? Here we go. So, we know that 78 plus what will get us up to 80. Let's try to get up to 80. What 78 plus what gets us up to 80? 2, right? Because we just said that 78 plus 2 equals 80. So we're going to get this number up to 80 by breaking our 5 into 2 numbers, or breaking it up into a number bond. So this is our whole. We're going to put part of our 5 here. 2 plus what equals 5? 2 plus 3 equals 5. So there's our number bond for 5. And we're going to put these two together. 8 and 2 make 10, meaning that 1 more 10 to 70 is going to be the number 80, right? And now we have 3 left, and 80 plus 3 is 83. Therefore, 78 plus 5 is 83. Or if you knew that 8 plus 5 is 13, that's a math fact that you'll learn. 8 plus 5 is 13. I just already know that from when I was in school. 8 plus 5 is 13. I'm going to add this 10 to that one, and I have this left. Therefore, 78 plus 5 is 83. Just a strategy. I know it looks confusing. Look at all those numbers you have up there, Miss Darcy, for just to add 5 to 78. Yes, because, like I said, this will help you in the future if you can grasp this strategy. Let's do another one. Let's see what my book tells me to do. Ooh, this is a good one. 76 plus 9. All right, so we're going to borrow from this 9. We're going to break it up into a number bond to borrow from the 9 to get this 76 all the way to 80. So 6 plus what? Oh, he's flying around the room. 6 plus what will get us up to a 10? We know that 10 plus 0, 9 plus 1, 8 plus 2, isn't this fun? 7 plus 3, 6 plus 4. So 6 and 4 is going to get us to one more 10, which gets this 7 up to an 8, which would be the number 80. And then if we have 4 out of this 5, what's left? We can do it 2 ways, right? We can think of 4 plus what equals 5, which is the same as 9 minus 4 equals 5. Because if 5 and 5 is 10, then 5 and 4 is 9. So if we have 80 here, and we have 5 left. 76 plus 9 must be 85. What do you guys think of this strategy? Is it super awesome? Because I have Tweety on my head? I know it's a little bit confusing, isn't it? But let's do another one and see if it starts getting a little bit more understandable for you, okay? All right, here's the last one that I'm gonna do. We're gonna do 44 plus 8. 44 plus 8. Now remember, we want to get this up to a 10. So if we want 44 to get up to 10 so that we can get up to the number 50, 4 and what make 10? 10 plus 0, 9 plus 1, 8 plus 2, isn't this fun? 7 plus 3, 6 plus 4. So we want to borrow 6 from this 8 to make it a 10. And that will give us 50, because 44 plus 6 will be 50. Now, out of this 8, 6 and what make 8? Let's count up to 8. 6, 7, 8. I'm at 8. That means I have 2 more. So there's my number bond. 6 plus 2 equals 8. Therefore, 44 plus 8 must equal 52. I know what you're saying. I didn't learn math this way. And I bet your parents are thinking, why is this, what in the world? I didn't learn math like this. But, like I said, it's just a strategy to use. Let's take a look at how we're going to be practicing this in our math workbook today. All right, if you look on our weekly schedule, we're on week 4, Wednesday. We're on workbook pages 130 through 132. So here we go with page 130. Remember that I'd like you to try to use the strategy I taught you today, but you do not have to. But let's take a look at this first one, 47 plus 3. So let's take a look at just the ones, 7 and 3. And we want to try to get this up to a 10. Well, 7 and 3, we know 10 plus 0, 9 plus 1, 8 plus 2. Isn't this fun? 7 plus 3, that is a 10, right? So if 7 and 3 is 10, then we're going to add that 10 to the 40, which would make us all the way up to 50. I want you to do that with this whole page. What's 6 and 4? And what would that number be? Let's take a look at 58 plus 5. If we get this 5, or this 58 up to a 10, we would need to borrow how many? 8 plus what? 8 plus 2. We'd need to borrow 2 from the 5, and 2 plus what equals 5? 2 plus 3. So if we got this 58 up to 60 with that 2, and we have the 3 left, it would be 63. Give it a try like that. If it's not working for you, that's okay, because I know this is a more difficult strategy, especially when we're just doing it through a video and I'm not in class to help you out with it. So if you'd like to keep doing it on your number chart, you may do that as well. You can just say, well, I'm going to start at 58 and go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got my answer. You're welcome to do it like that, or you can do it on your fingers. 58 plus 5, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63. Do it however you feel comfortable. I don't want you to stress out trying to do this strategy. If it's not working for you, don't do it. Does that sound good? Awesome. All right, same with the next page. You're just adding. And we're not doing any subtracting. It's all just adding using that strategy. 3 pages of adding. I think you've got this. All right, so Mr. Tweety Bird says, have fun doing your math. Don't stress out. Use whatever strategy is most comfortable for you. And hopefully this guy will go back to his cage so that I can do reading without him. But I don't know. Do you guys want me to do reading with him? Do you want to see him again in reading? What do you think, Tweety? I bet they're saying, yes, yes, bring him to reading. So maybe I'll let him stay. See you later.